go boldly, okay? Be courageous. And it's very, very tough. I mean, I can give you a little story. I've been on one of the boards, I won't say which one, but, we need to recruit for some very senior positions. Even in this day and age, we find that people want to do shortcuts when it comes to the recruitment process. And they'll say, but please don't give me a process that is going to prevent me from making a good business decision, okay? And then we want to find a shortcut around so we don't have to do the interviews and the question is, in these days, we need to make sure, absolutely sure, that our governance works, especially governance around recruitment process. We talked about how do we decide which are the very best leaders to put into these key positions in all our organizations, be it public, private, SOEs, or whatever the case might be. We see how many CEO positions there are. Maybe there should be a little bit of an exam here today to say, how many CEO positions are there in South Africa today? Listed companies and public companies. Does anybody know the answer to that question? How many CEO vacancies are there? 10? 15? There are quite a few. I'm going to let you think about that a little bit, okay? We can try and guess and see. But what is the reason that we are not able to fill this? Why don't people want to sign up for this? Is it a bit of a poison chalice? Are there too many challenges? What really is going on in corporate South Africa, and how are we going to make sure that we seize the opportunities to fill our organizations with leaders who are going to take us to the next level? And so we have a great opportunity, I think, here to do that. So how much risk are we prepared to take? And he talks about in the book, often we're not prepared to say no because we're afraid of what might happen. We're afraid that we might somehow, be taking a risk, and it might be a career-limiting risk to say no, okay? And more and more I'm finding myself also having to say no in environments that I would not have imagined that I would have had to do that. It takes a lot of courage to say, no, you cannot do it this way, right? And I think, and I remember one of the bits of feedback when I was still head of HR at Nedbank and Tom Boardman was the CEO. And I was sitting in one of my performance reviews, and some of you might have had the same kind of conversation, where he says, if it doesn't feel right, say no, okay? And then come up with what you think actually the solution should be. And so don't say no because you want to be difficult, but say no because you really have a solid evidence-based reason for saying so. And we have lots of data now that we can gather to support our motivations for saying no to certain things. But I think the days of just going along and going with the flow is over. Do you agree? Okay, we have to absolutely be very clear about where we stand in some of these issues. And barriers do arise, and people are fearful to speak up. There's good reason to be fearful and anxious. But I think if we weigh up all the odds and we are truly going to be, authentic to ourselves as HR professionals, sometimes it is a huge risk, but we have to sometimes just engage very, very differently from what we've been doing before. So there are many dilemmas for HR professionals. Be clear about our own values and what we stand for if we are truly to make a difference. And we've heard about the ethical leadership challenges. We have to make sure that we are the conscience of the organization. We're not just about the organization must make money. We are there to provide that conscience and that mirror to make sure that we are continuing to remain ethical, that we are preventing corporate scandals in our organizations, that we are addressing poor governance head on, and that we are dealing with the leadership crisis that we face. These are very critical points, and each one of us here has it in our remit to actually deal with this and address this. So moving along very quickly, I'm not going to go into all of this detail here, but I want to say, Foreman talks about driving business results and improving our competitive position. That we must do, yes. We also have to, survive in this new volatile environment. And we need to lead, manage, and engage and support our employees in a radically different way. And sometimes, sometimes the old tricks of 5 years ago, they just don't work anymore. We need to find some innovative ways to do that. And that is why we come to events like this to do this. That one is from me. We need to put the H back in HR. We need to understand how we humanize our organizations. I think that many of our organizations have started to dehumanize, if you like. We become process-driven, we become numbers-driven, and we forget that we are dealing with human beings who are impacted by what is going on in the world around them, and that we need to create organizations that have a compassionate culture, that are empathetic, that truly care about human beings. And that is a big task that we have to perform, especially now when people are vulnerable and challenged in the way that they are. And so in a Forbes article, they say fear is not necessarily your enemy. It is what you do when you are confronted by fears. And I know that many of you lie awake in your bed at night and worry about what will happen in the situation tomorrow. So what I want to say to you as HR professionals, who looks after the HR professional? Who do you go to yourselves when you need some TLC? Hey? Where do we go? There are not too many people we can actually talk to, right? Because we hold so many secrets and so many confidentialities. We ourselves, we have nowhere that we can actually go to. So we have to speak, in couch terms, and we have to give scenarios without mentioning names and places. And we have to hope that some colleague somewhere is going to understand what it is that we are trying to say. But we need to find mentors, we need to find coaches, we need to find support networks that will be able to just hear us, to just listen to us, to just care about us as HR professionals. I want to say to you as well, we need to take care of ourselves every day. We need to nurture ourselves every day. And you need to find out what it is that you can best do, because taking care of your own soul and your personal self, today, this is a message I want to give you. If you forget everything, we need to take care of ourselves as HR professionals. And we need to be mindful of how we are feeling and what's going on in our hearts and our minds and our souls, because it is very, very tough out there. Can you promise me that you will do that? Please reflect on it when you go to bed this evening. What is it that you are doing to take care of yourself, right? Because we need you to be energetic, to be dynamic, to be vibrant, and most of all, to be healthy. So I want to urge you and challenge you to take care of your health, take care of yourselves. Okay, moving along, I've talked about leading, shaping, and influencing, and I think this is very, very important. This is what we have to do. We need to lead the discussions. We need to stand next to our CEOs. They should not be making decisions without having consulted us or having, engaged with us in some way, shape, or form first. I think that HR has grown, and this is what he's saying in the book. We have grown double-digit as a profession. There's a lot of positive publicity about HR, unlike before. So I think, yes, there were lots of things, and somebody said it earlier, where HR is just not seen to be the function that, business sees high up on its priority. Somebody said at another conference that, HR is still trying to find its way. And I want to say to you, no, I think we have landed in the right spot today where we can actually make that difference. So we must stop thinking about the past and about the legacy of our profession. We are the profession that now is at the forefront of the conversations that we are having in our country. And I can only tell you that because at the board level, you can see now, and even at the remuneration and social and ethics committees at board level, a lot of the issues around people are taking up the time on the agenda if you look at what is on the agenda. So HR professionals, we are on the agenda. Let us speak our truth in those opportunities that we find. Let us shape and influence the outcomes of those conversations. and let us be bold and courageous as we do that. So you said something about getting a seat at the table is a poor and insufficient aspiration for HR. It's about speaking with conviction and boldness so that we can flourish and strengthen our organization. So being more strategic is about mindset, action, and enablers. And I think that we must change our own mindset. When somebody earlier spoke, one of the speakers spoke about victim, this victim mentality that we sometimes have. We must snap out of that and take our rightful place. And I think the important point I want to make here is that, a lot of us have done various degrees and diplomas and qualifications in HR. The world has moved on. It doesn't mean we must do any more degrees. I think we must just continue to learn so that we can stay on top of our game. And continuous learning is opportunities and forums like this, where we come and we share with each other, and where we walk away with some new, refreshed ideas. So it's a really important thing to do in the next 24 hours, if you haven't started to do it yet, is to spend time, share with each other, connect, build relationships so that you can continue to connect beyond this event here today. And I'm sure IPM will provide further support for you moving forward. But we have to continue to learn in order to stay on top of our game as HR professionals. And the best way to actually learn at this level is to learn also from each other. It's one of the most powerful ways to do it. The purpose, I think, a lot of organizations are beginning to talk about purpose. What is our purpose as the HR profession? And what difference can we make? And we're not talking just purpose. We're talking about higher purpose. We're talking about difference to humankind that we want to make. And so this is about unleashing that potential. It's a higher calling. It's not just about the job that you do every day. How do we unleash that hidden potential, that hidden magic in people that often stays locked up because of fear and anxiety? So I want us to shine and to show that, to unleash that magic within ourselves as well, and help to unleash that magic in others. And it's a very privileged position to be in, to be able to do that. So enable HR to move beyond just being a business partner to being a true business leader. Remember the old days, Ulrich used to talk about business partners? Remember that? And there was a lot of criticism about Ulrich around that, which he probably deserved. But he's now talking about, and Foreman is now talking about being a business leader. HR taking the lead in business. And this is the calling that I want to make to you today, the call to action I want to make to you today. So fearless HR themes, these are some of the themes: being business-focused, data-driven, evidence-based, strategically orientated, and execution-driven, getting the thing done, okay? And building our own capacity. We need to develop all the time. And so I want to encourage you to continue to stay on top of your game and learn. And this is why we are here today. This is a fantastic opportunity to do this. And as I finish, I want to say, we have a greater purpose here. We have to live our lives in the first place, right? With meaning and purpose every day. We need to know why we get up. We need to know why we're in the profession that we are. And once we know that, we know what our purpose is and how to align everything that we do to it. So really unleashing, it's a noble, a powerful purpose, unleashing potential in people. Imagine a world where people's potential has been, unleashed, and you played a small role in that. It is such a fulfilling opportunity in life to have. And so, as somebody was saying earlier as well, as HR professionals who are fearless, we don't want to bully, brag, or flaunt our positions. And be arrogant. That is not what it's about. Can I see how many Standard Bank people are here? Just can you put up your hands if you're from Standard Bank? Thank you. There's one value in Standard Bank that I recall from my days in Standard Bank, and it said, guard against arrogance. Do you remember this one? Do you remember this value? Guard against arrogance is very, very important. And it takes a lot to be humble in certain situations. And humble doesn't mean that you have to be a doormat to be walked across. Humility means that we do not become arrogant. This is very important. I just want to remind you of that. But fearless means to be competent, confident, candid, and courageous. This is what it means. If you want to think about it, 4 C's. I've got a couple of more C's for you here. HR leading the way, the 6 C's, right? The credibility to work across the depth and the breadth of the business is the first C. The confidence to make an impact as an HR function. The courage to make tough calls. The compassion to listen to the needs of the business, and the competence and the capability to respond effectively to those needs. Ask yourself, do I tick those boxes? And what is it that I have to do? Where are the gaps? And how am I going to manage to actually achieve this? And so I want to end there, and I want to say thank you very, very much. It's been great to be here at this convention once again. I know we're over our time, but I want you to thoroughly enjoy the next few hours. Thank you so much. I wish you joy, prosperity, abundance, and lots of success in the work that you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Zinn. Stay here for me. Stay here. We've got some questions from the audience for you, which I'll give. Thank you for that. It's nice standing on the stage with a Capetonian for a change. First question coming from Matsi, which is very highly liked, this particular question to Professor Zinn. How do HR leaders remain fearless in the era of victimization and purging? There's a real danger of being dismissed for standing up for what is right.
Yes, that is a very, very good question. And I think a lot of us have a lot of fear and anxiety about, when this is in your face, we just slowly want to shrink and stand back. Because your job is on the line, right? You worry about your future. You worry about if I say the wrong thing right now, I'm out of the door. I think that is a reality for many people. It has happened. But I do want to say that as a collective, as a profession, if we step up together, we have this groundswell that says we will not be bullied into submission. We need to stand our ground together. And we will not allow a situation like that to evolve. We will speak our truth in that situation. We will, the thing that always calms me down when I'm in a situation like that, and I have been in situations like that before, is to do your homework, do your research, be organized, show up with confidence, look the bully in the eye, and say, I will not be flawed by you, because this is the right thing to do, and this is why.
Question by Anonymous. What can be done to encourage women to become fearless leaders in an environment where they are being bullied by males?
Okay, that is a really tough one. So I think, we have seen a lot of issues around violence against women. There's been a huge uprising around this particular issue in the last few weeks. It's very, very fresh in our mind, but it's been an ongoing thing for many years, perhaps under the cover. And I think what is important now, that it is out. And we want to say to, women in the room, there are male folk around us that share this vision of a world where we have gender equality. And we need to find those men, and we need to get them to mentor and coach. We need to get them to help us to shift this agenda in our organizations. And we want to appeal to every man here in this room to say, please support women. Please, if you see any bullying of this nature or victimization of this nature happening, please put up your hand and be counted. Can I ask, please, that you will do that? Because it has become a real toxic issue in our organizations today. And I want to ask, especially for those of you who have come here today, that we share a vision of a democratic country where all of us can contribute to building a better life for all. So I want to appeal to the men folk in the room, and I want to say to women, find the men that you believe will take you forward, will have compassion, will have the empathy, and together we have to create a better world for our children.
Yeah, that needs an applause, yes, sure. Question from Jerry. I suppose it's Dr. Jerry Gooley sitting in front of me asking the question. Mental health issues on the rise. What role do leaders have in creating a workplace that is not creating mental stresses?
Thank you very much. That is also a very big priority question now, because I think that we have long talked about wellness, right? Most of us have what we think is wellness in our wellness programs in our organizations, right? I'm sure if I asked now, everybody would put up their hand. There's some semblance of wellness programs in our organizations. But we have not created a culture where especially mental illness and mental challenges that people might face are being appreciated, and where they have the opportunity to be given proper care, proper advice, and an environment where they can thrive as well. There are plenty of issues out there, and it is a sadness. It is a sadness to see what happens. And I think there are statistics out there, and I'm going to be guessing wildly now, but I would say, having served on some medical aid trusts, that a lot of our people, more than 50, maybe 60% of them, are on some or other medication for mental medical challenges. And these are serious challenges. We all are carrying pills in our bags right now, from things ranging to headaches, anything, any medical issue like cardiac or high blood pressure. These are all stress-related issues. We can't ignore this. We need to step up our efforts. Our suicide rates, especially amongst our younger people, are higher. There is so much pressure out there that's affecting our performance as human beings. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about creating a humanizing culture in our organizations, where we can create an inclusive culture where everyone can thrive. And we need to specifically focus on this issue of mental wellness in our organization. It's not just a thing that ticks a box, it's a thing that is part of our culture, and we need to care just a little bit more. Thank you.
Just two statements from the audience. Amazeballs. It is these type of sessions that remind us of why we chose this profession. HR did not choose us. And then finally, Shirley, thank you for reminding us to be fearless, from Francois. Thank you very much. It was very, very enticing.
Thanks
A
very
good round
much,
of applause,
everyone.
Professor Shirley Zinn.
Thank you.
And then from IPM Board and Management, a gift to you to take home to Cape Town. You must enjoy. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your engagement. We appreciate it. We're going to go on a quick refreshment break. Please remember, we'll come back and remind you of the breakaway sessions, and the refreshments will be served in the Super Bowl. Can we make it just 10 to 15 minutes and be back here again to continue? Thank you so much for your attention. Can you guys be back at 25 past 11, 11:25?